Hello friends, welcome once more to Class Online. My name is Mr. Dami and we shall be looking at Jamb mathematics again on the following topics: indices, subject of formula, and sort. And those topics, like I always say, that every topic in Jamb carry equal mark. That every topic must be given equal importance. I don't say that it's just indices, it's just you really need to know it well and know it well because they all go with equal mark. And that's just it. Now let's take some questions from different years on indices and different years on subject of formula and also on sort. Now let's check them out. Now indices first. This question was taken from a year. We have 3 raised to the power minus 5x over 9 raised to the power 1 minus x times 2x, 27 raised to the power n plus 1. Now, how do we solve this? First thing first, this is the question. You must know that the law of indices says that anything division will become a subtraction in the power. And that means that 3 raised to the power minus 5n divided by, I just wrote it down like this, 9 raised to the power 1 minus n times 27 n plus 1. Now, notice one thing. All the numbers, all the base numbers here are family of 3. That means they are all multiples of 3. And that means that I will just change this to 3 to the power minus 5n divided by 3 to the power 2. Why 3 to the power 2? Because 9 is 3 to the power 2 and it must be, I'm trying to make all of them the same base. So this is 9. 9 means 3 to the power 2 bracket 1 minus n times 27 means 3 to the power 3 bracket n plus 1. Can you see that? Now then solve for that. That will become 3 to the power minus 5n divided by 3 to the power 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times n is 2n. So I just expanded the bracket times 3 to the power 3 times n is 3n plus 3 times 1 is 3. And that's what I have here. Then the law of indices says that division is subtraction in the power. That will give me 3 to the power minus 5n minus because it is a division. Okay, below. That's 2 minus 2n. Then times will produce plus on top. That will become plus bracket 3n plus 3. And that's what I have there. That will give me 3 to the power minus 5n. The minus multiplied in, that will become minus 2. Then minus and 2n is plus 2n plus 3n, then plus 3. And that's what you have there. Now the next thing is now to collect like terms. 3 raised to the power minus 5n plus 2n plus 3 minus 2 plus 3 minus 5 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. Minus 5 plus 5 is 0. So I'll have 0 there. Then minus 2 plus 3 is 1. So it is actually 3 raised to the power 1. And that is actually 3. So my answer is 3B. Now the second one is also an indices. Now first thing to do is to turn this decimal into fraction. That will give me 8 over 1000 all to the power minus 1 over 3 times 0.16 is 16 over 100 all to the power minus 3 over 2. Okay. Now the law of indices says that anything fractional, if it's a fractional power, it will become square root. It will become the root of the denominator of the fraction and the power of the numerator, and that will become 8 over 1000 will now become, this 3 below will become the root. It will become, but first of all, there's a negative there, and the law of indices also says that negative power will become 1 over. So 1 over, this minus became 1 over 8 over 1000 raised to the power 1 over 3. Notice this, the minus here became 1 over. Please take note. Okay, times the minus here will become 1 over 16 over 100 raised to the power 3 over 2, right? Now 1 over these 3 below in the power, that's the fractional power, will become the third root of 8 over 1000 times 1 over the square root of 16 over 100. Why square root? Because this is 2 below. The number below in the fraction will become the root, while the number on top will become the square, the power. And that's what I have here. And that's what I have here. So this 2 below will become the square root of everything here, while the 3 below will stand here as the power. Can you see that? And that's what I did here also. This 3 became the third root of this. Now that's what I have here. So I have third root of 8. What's the third root of 8? Now third root of 8 can be punched on your calculator. Just press 3 plus shift plus this symbol that has x, y, and that will give you the third root. That's x root, sorry. And that will give you the third root. And that means I'm saying what number will times itself 3 times, that will give me 8. And that number of course is 2. Check it out. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is what? 8. So if 2, the third root of 8 is therefore 2, because 2 will multiply itself 3 times to give me 8. And that's what I have here. So third root of 8 is 2. The third root of 1000 is the number that will times itself 3 times, that will give me 1000, and that's 10. 10 times 10 is 100. 100 times 10 is 1000. So that's what I have here, 10. 1 over 2 over 10 times the square root of 16 is 4. Square root of 100 is 10. All to the power of 3. And that's what I have here. So now 1 over anything means that that fraction will turn upside down to give it will become 10 over 2 times 1 over 4 raised to the power 3. This is the root to the power 3. That means 4 times 4 times 4. And that's 64. 10 to the power 3 is 1000. That's 10 times 10 times 10. And that's what I have here. So 1 over 64 over 1000. 1 over any fraction will become, it will do the reciprocal of the fraction. That will become 10 over 2 is 5. Then the 1 over this is, the reciprocal of this is 1000 over 64. And that will be, if you call by 4, you'll be getting, sorry, if you call by 8, you'll be getting 125 over 8. And that's it. So I have the answer as 5 times 125 is 625 over 8. And that can be solved further. So the answer is 625 over 8. And that is the end of the journey for that. Now let's check out the next one. The next one is another negative power, minus 1 over 2. So it will become 1 over root 25 times 27. Can you see? Then there's 1 over 3. This 3 will become the third root of 27. According to the law of indices, these two are separate. Then there's a plus in between. That tells me that this side is separate from this side. Okay, now this side, now I have minus 1 over 2 as power. It will become 1 over root 121. Because 2 is the number below, it will become the root of 121 times minus 1 over 4 as power. That will become 1 over 4th root of 624. And that's what I have here. Two separate sides, right? Now 1 over the square root of 25 is 5. 1 over 5 times cube root of 27 is 3. Why 3? Because 3 is the number that will times itself 3 times. That will give me 27. That's 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. And that's what I have here. Plus 1 over the square root of 121 is 11 times 1 over the 4th root of 625 is actually 5. 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. And that is 625. And that's what I have here. Now multiply. That will give me 1 times 1 is 1. 11 times 5 is 55. Then 3 times 1 is 3 over 5. And then the LCM, since it's now plus, for fractions that are plus, we don't cut. We only find LCM. So the LCM of 5 and 55 is 55. And that's what I have here. 5 in 55 is 11. 11 times 3 is 33. 55 in 55 is 1. 1 times 1 on top is 1. So 33 plus 1 is 34 over 55. And that makes A the correct answer. Next indices is actually 9 raised to the power 2x minus 1, or divided by 27, x plus 1 equals 1, right? Next thing, first thing is to cross multiply, and that will give me 9 raised to the power 2x minus 1 equals 27, x plus 1. Now, why is this one not reflecting? Because it is actually anything times 1 is still that same thing. So 1 is not really important in this work because we've multiplied. So now that will come 9 raised to the power 2x minus 1 equals 27, x plus 1. Now, this is actually not just indices. These are indices that has equation. It is called an exponential equation. And that's what I have here. Now, next thing is to make the number to have the same base. Now, 3 raised to the power 2 is 9, right? So 3 raised to the power 2 bracket 2x minus 1. Then 27 is also 3 raised to the power 3. See, I've made them to be the same. 3, 3, right? 2 raised to the power 3 bracket x plus 1. Now, multiply to the bracket 2 times 2x is 4x. 2 times 1 is 2. Equals 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 1 is 3. So cancel the 3 since they are the same base. And that's why I made it the same base, so that I can cut it out. So I have 4x minus 2 equals 3x plus 3. This 3 will jump from here to this side. That means I'm correcting like terms. That's 4x minus 3 equals 3 plus 2. And that will give me 4x minus 3 is actually x. That's 4x minus 3 is just x. It's 1x. And equals 3 plus 2 is 5. So x equals 5. And that's my answer to that question. Next question is actually a question that has to do with third root. And now I must tell you this at this point that excuse me. Okay, so now what I have here is actually this root, this number outside is 1 over 2, raised to the power 1 over 2. It will multiply into the bracket, and that will become 64 raised to the power 1 over 2, and r raised to the power minus 6 bracket 1 over 2. So I just shared the 1 over 2 for 64 and r, and that's just what I did here. Now, what is 64 raised to the power 1 over 2? You know that the law of indices says that anything to the power 1 over 2 will become the root of that thing, because these two below the numerator power, sorry, the denominator of the power will become the root. So that becomes square root of 64. Then these 2 here will become minus 6 over 2. I haven't done this one. I just simplified, and that will give me this. Square root of 64 is 8. R raised to power minus 6 over 2 is actually minus 3, and that is just it. Now this means that I'm going to do this, the cube root of 8 and the cube root of R raised to power minus 3, right? Now cube root of 8 means 4 with times itself 3 times, that will give me 8, and that's 2, because 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, so 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, and that is the cube root of 8 is 2. Now the cube root of R raised to power minus 3 is actually minus 3 over 3. Why? Because I told you before that law of easy says that anything that is a root must be a fractional power index, and you know, cube root means 1 over 3 power, and that means that I'll just remove this cube root and put it as over 3 here, and that's what I got here. So that will give me 2R. 3 over 3 is actually 1, so R is power minus 1. And law of easy says that anything negative power will become 1 over, so it will give me 2 is power 2 bracket 1 over R. The 2 will go on top, it will give me 2 over R as my answer, and that is it that we could get on instance. Let's talk about subject of formula. Now here we have this thing. To make something the subject means to make it stand alone. Now that means I'm trying to remove, to make G the subject. Now I'll remove this and make G stand alone. That will become GT squared minus K minus W. This W and K will come here and change sign to plus. So GT squared equals W plus K. Now remove this G. Now there is no plus, there is no minus beside the G, so I'll just cross through. I can't change the sign and move like this and make it minus. No, I have to cross the G. Why? Because it doesn't have a plus or a minus sign, so you can't cross it over like this and change the sign. No, it's not like this K and this W, they have a minus sign. You can cross them to plus, but this G is times, and for times you will have to divide both sides. So that means I'm making G the subject now, so I will remove the T. How will I remove the T? I will divide both sides by T squared, and that will become divided by T squared. T squared will come under here, so G is equal to W plus K divided by T squared, and that's my answer. And then the next one is to make N the subject. That means make N stand alone, right? Now how will I do that? First thing, cross multiply. I will become, this one will come down here, so it will become, and this W will multiply this, it will become W times this, it will become W bracket 1 minus Cn, then V minus 2 plus Cn. Now expand, then W times 1 is W minus W Cn, that's W times Cn, equals to V times 2, then V times, then VCN, right? Now I'm looking for W, right, to make N the subject. So all the ones that have N, they will come side by side. So I have W, this one is 2V, it doesn't have an N, it will come here, minus 2V equals VCN plus WCN. Now what's common? What's common is the subject I'm looking for, so that's what I'll focus on. N is common, so it will become N bracket V plus VC plus WC. Now you might be saying, but C is also common. But no, I am not looking for C, so I don't have to solve C. So it will become bracket VC plus WC, right? Now this VC plus WC will come under this one, and that will be my answer. So V minus 2V equals N bracket VC plus WC. I'm cutting out this VWC from this side to this side. It will now become N is equal to W minus 2V over VC plus WC. I can now, since C is common, I can still show an expression. Although this is the answer, but I can still simplify for like this: 1 over C bracket W minus 2V over V plus W. And that is my answer, making B the correct answer. Let's check out this one again. Now let's make Q the subject now. We have P equals M over 5 bracket X plus Q plus 1, right? Now that will become, this one will go to meet the M. That will become M bracket X plus Q over 5 plus 1. Now that will become multiplied to the bracket M times X is MX, M times Q is MQ over 5 plus 1, right? To make Q the subject, so I won't forget that. Next thing is to I will actually do the LCM. That means since it's a fractional expression, I will make this 5. That means I will just remove the fraction. But how? I'll plug in the 5 into all the sides of the expression. That will become 5p equals 5 bracket mx plus mq plus 5 times 1. 5 cancel 5. That will become 5p equals mx plus mq plus 5. Now it is now linear. It's now straight. Now to make q stand alone, that means remove everything except q. So this 5 will go over and become minus 5. Then this mx will go over and become minus mx equals mq. Now that's what I have here. So I can put that as mq equals 5p minus 5 minus mx. Now remove the m. so that the key will stand low. So dividing both sides by m, my answer is 5p minus 5 minus mx over m, and that is the answer to that question. Now let's talk about sword. Now the last one is sword. Now in sword we have the first question here. This is actually a fractional sword. Now the first thing to do here is to put the make both of them a fraction. 4 over 1 minus 1 over 2 brackets 2 minus root 3. Now how you solve this? Solve the fraction normally. Now when you have a fraction and the number below, just pick the denominator that is common. What's the denominator, or what's the LCM of this sword? It's actually 2 minus root 3. So plug it in. 1 divide 2 minus root 3 is actually 2 minus root 3 times 4. That will become 4 bracket 2 minus root 3 minus 2 minus root 3 divided 2 minus root 3 is actually 1. 1 times 1 is 1. And that's what I have here. So I use 2 minus root 3 as the LCM, and that's what I placed here. Okay, now let's solve this further. That will become multiply to the bracket, that's expand. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times root 3 is 4 root 3 minus 1 over 2 minus root 3. 8 minus 1 is actually 7 minus 4 minus 4 root 3 over 2 minus root 3, right? And that will give me, and this is what I have here. Now, but this is my answer, but I can't stop here. I have to rationalize because sword must not be below. So a fraction. So now to rationalize this, because there's a minus here, it will become 7 minus 4 root 3 over 2 minus root 3 times 2 plus root 3. Why? Because this minus here, it will become plus here. 2 plus root 3 over 2 plus root 3. Now expand into the bracket. That will become 7 bracket 2 plus root 3 minus 4 root 3 bracket 2 plus root 3 over 2 bracket 2 plus root 3 minus root 3 bracket 2 plus root 3. I only expanded. Okay, now 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times root 3 is 7 root 3 minus 4 times 2 is 8 root 3. Then minus 4 times 4 is still 4. Root 3 times root 3 is root 9 over 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times root 3 is 2 root 3. Then root 3 times 2 is 2 root 3. Then minus root 3 times root 3 is minus root 9. And that's what I have here. So that will become 14 plus 7 minus 8 is actually minus 1 root 3. Then minus 4 root 9 is actually root 3. Root 9, 4 root 9 is 3, sorry. 4 root 9 is 3. So because the square root of 9 is 3. And that's what I have there. So that this is over 4 is here. Then I have this cancel because they are the same thing. Okay, so square root of 9. Oh wow, this is actually supposed to be 4. Okay, so this is actually 4. Wow. Okay, I think I made a mistake here. Now this 4, this 4. So this 4, this became 2. Okay, this 2 will cancel themselves out. This cancel. Then I have square root of 9 is 3, and this is it. Now okay, so this should have been, excuse me, this should have been not 2. This should have been 4. So that will become 4 minus 3 is actually 1. So what should have been here is actually 1, not minus 1. And this is it. And we have 14 minus root 3 minus 2. Okay, that's actually a mistake. This is supposed to be 1. So the answer should have been 14 minus root 3 minus 2 over 1, not minus 1. And that will give me 14 minus 12 is actually 2 minus root 3. It is actually supposed to be 2 minus root 3, making B the answer, not C. Please, it's supposed to be B. So the mistake came from here. This is actually 4, and it became 2. It's supposed to be 4 still, not 2. So and 4 minus 3 is 1, not minus 1, and that makes the answer to become B, not C. Now let's check out this one. This is a solved question again. Now in this one you have let me use this. This is the solve here. Begin from the innermost root. That's root 100. So the root 100 is what, 10. But root is also I can make root to become divided by 2 in power. That means that what I'm saying is that root 100 is 10, right? Then this root for this r will become 8 divided by 2. You know, from law of instance, they say that the fractional, that when you have a fraction, when you convert it to root, it will become the number below in the power of the fraction will become the root. So that means if this is a root, it can become over 2 in the power. and that's what I have here. So 10R8/2. This 2 came from the root, okay, and that will give me 10R4. Now solving further, 71 plus 10R4, that will give me 81R4. Then the root of 81 is 9. Root will now become over 2 for this 4. To become R4/2 is actually 2. To become 160R squared plus 9R squared. Now plus that will become 169R squared. Then square root of 169 is 13. Root will become over 2. It will become 2/2, which is what, 13R. That's my answer for that, for the first one. Second one is actually another sword. We have this. This one is actually a sword that you will need to expand. So you will need to double this one. It will become you will need to rationalize, and that means I have 2√3 plus 3√2 over 3√2 minus 2√3, right? Now rationalize means repeat or duplicate this one below in the opposite sign on this side. So instead of, since this minus, it will become plus here. It will become 3√2 plus 2√3. It's still the same thing, but just as a sign change, over 3√2 plus 2√3, right? Now multiply this sword. That will become 2√3, everything here. 3√2 plus 2√3 plus 3√2, everything here. 3√2 plus 2√3 over 3√2, then everything here. 3√2 plus 2√3 minus 2√3, everything here. 3√2 plus 2√3, and that will give me 2 times 3 is 6. √3 times √2 is √6 plus 2 times 2 is 4. √3 times √3 is √9 plus 3 times 3 is 9. √2 times √2 is √4 plus 3 times 2 is 6. √2 times √3 is √6 divided by 3 times 3 is 9. √2 times √2 is √4 plus 3 times 2 is 6. √2 times √3 is √6 minus 2 times 3 is 6. √3 times √2 is √6 minus, why minus? Because minus and plus is minus. Minus minus 4, please. That's 2 times 2 is 4. Then √3 times √3 is √9. Now simplify. That will give me I have here √6 and √6. They are the same. So I'll plus the root and the numbers. 6 plus 6 is 12 √6. Then I have here 4 √9 √4. That will become the square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 4 is 2. That will give me 4 bracket 3. That's 4 times 3 plus 9 bracket 2. That's 9 times 2 over this we cancel because they are the same. That will become the root of 4 is 2. 9 times 2 minus 4 times 3 because the root of 9 is 3, and that will give me 12 √6. 4 times 3 is 12. 9 times 2 is 18 over 9 times 2 is 18 minus 4 times 3 is 12. So that will give me 18 minus 2 minus 12 is 6. Then 12 plus 18 is 30. 12 √6 plus 30 over 6. Now 6 can divide both. 6 we cut 12. That will become 2 √6 plus 6 divided 30 is 5. And that's the answer. 5 plus 2 √6 is my answer. And that brings us to the end of this section. Don't forget that a practice quiz was sent in the classroom. You can check it out and practice with it. Until we see you again, guys, take care of yourself and bye for now.